All right, welcome everybody. It is May 13th. My name is Brad Bernstein, and we call this Brad Show Live Pandemic Pop-Up Quarantine Edition straight from my living room while we are all, at least me, and the rest of the Brad Show Live crew are under, I guess, semi-quarantine. We're not literally quarantined. You are allowed out of your home in New York, although when you leave, there's really nowhere to walk to or go to because every store and restaurant is closed. But for the grocery store and maybe the hospital, God forbid you're sick. But outside of that, there's really nowhere to go, but we are allowed out. So to say quarantine is not really 100% true, although I kind of feel it is quarantine. Let me say hello. Oh, by the way, it is hump day today. Who's psyched for hump day? I have not, and this is truthful, I have no idea what the hump day stories are. Jill tried to show them to me earlier. I said I was busy. I wasn't able to read them. So we are going to be surprised together on hump day. So I'm looking forward to that as well. And of course, I'm going to be answering all of your immigration questions. We are live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. I do have to remind everybody, if you are watching on YouTube, do two things right now very, very quickly. Number one, if you're watching on YouTube and you have not subscribed to our show, please subscribe right now. That is the first start to becoming a member of the Brad Squad. And if you don't know what the Brad Squad is, you'll see everybody talking in the comment section. That's the squad. And you got to subscribe on YouTube because then you'll be notified every time we come on live. And by the way, just because you subscribe doesn't mean you necessarily have an immigration problem. We have more than a substantial amount of people. I don't want to say more than 50% because I don't know 100% certain, but I'm pretty certain that more than 50% of the people are legal who watch our show and part of the Brad Squad and subscribe. And they're here in the United States and living here. Certainly more than 80% of the people living who are subscribing do live in the United States of America. So please subscribe. You'll be notified every time. You got nothing to worry about. Nobody's coming for you. Nobody's looking for you. Nobody's thinking anything of you because you subscribe to Brad Show Live. But I will tell you what you will get. You'll get fantastic entertainment every day for at least 1 hour during our pandemic quarantine pop-ups, as well as really amazing entertainment once we get back in our studio, plus great information on immigration. And we get our entire crew back, including Yo-Yo and Nesquik. And on Facebook, you also have to like and follow us. If you like and follow us, you're going to get that same ding, that same notification that we are coming on live, and you can join all of your members of the Brad Squad. Say hello, get that great information, get that entertainment, as well as what's amazing about this show is the camaraderie between everybody who watches. I mean, this show makes it because of the Brad Squad, because of the comments. Obviously, if nobody makes a comment, I can't do a show. So, I mean, it's all Brad Squad. I mean, nobody asks questions. Nobody follows with comments and tells me what they're thinking. There is no Brad Show. It's just me talking to air. So you guys, Brad Squad, make it all happen. And you got to make sure you subscribe on YouTube and like and follow us on Facebook so you know every time we come on and you can be a part of it. In the meantime, let me say hello to Katie and Plunkett. Squad up. Carol Morris, good evening. Deion Watson, squad up. Sharp saying, good evening, Uncle Brad with a heart. Thank you very much. Yo-Yo, squad up, fam. Monica Stone, Arif Rahman, Yo-Yo. If you follow Yo-Yo on Instagram, he's been knocking it out of the park on Instagram these days. So congrats to you, Yo-Yo. Arif Rahman, Alex Crossweight saying hello all the way from Panama. What's happening down in Panama? We don't hear in the news what's going on, at least here in the United States, what's going on as far as coronavirus, what's going on in Central America with coronavirus. I hear it's bad, but I hear it's bad, similar to what's going on, what happened in Italy. I hear it's bad, but you don't hear the news. I hear it, just kind of through word of mouth. So, Alex, if you have any information on what's going on down in Central America, please share it with us and obviously stay safe and everyone stay safe. Sonia Sharp, squad up handsome. Aw, thank you. Carol Anderson, the Tiger, saying, hi, Brad. Tracy Haynes, good afternoon. Elizabeth Karanja, squad up. Kirk Brown, what's going on? Sasha Ford, Latoya, his forever Peterson. and she is still with the guy. I think forever, according to her name. Kirk Brown, Alex Crossweight. He was deported back in 2003. I don't know why, but maybe we can help you. We'll figure it out. Prosper Ikechukwu, what's going on? Monica Stone, Rob J. Roberts. He is essential service. He is not in quarantine down in Jamaica. He is essential, Rob J. Rob J is essential to Jamaica. He's also essential to Bradshaw Live. He is the only negative member of Bradshaw Live. Everything out of his mouth is no and contrary, but we love him nevertheless. Michaela Reed, how are you? Dion Watson, what's going on? Hernandez Sammy, good evening, Brad. You are the best. Thank you very much, Hernandez. Demore Romet saying squad up. And Arlene Gardner, she loves the show. Well, thank you very much, Arlene. I love doing the show. I love when I get compliments like that. So there's lots of love going back and forth between me and you right now, Arlene. Alex Crossweight with the question from Panama. We will get to you in a little bit. Sherry Bushy Forster, Uncle Brad, she's double-fisted. Just like YouTube page, but I prefer to watch on Facebook. She likes the squad, I think, on Facebook better than the squad on YouTube. Some people like the squad on YouTube better, but she is double fisting. And I'm by the way, I double fist every day. I watch on YouTube and Facebook, but I got to see everything that's going on. But I'm always double fisting. But yes, Sherry, thank you very much for double fisting as well. And please spread the word. Alex says 3,000 people are infected in Panama. All right, well, that's not a bad number if that's the true number, to only have 3,000. So hopefully that stays low. Jasmine McDonald with a question. I'll answer it quickly because it's a yes or no question. If you receive food stamps, will that affect your citizenship? No. The answer is no. Rog J. Roberts lives in New Jersey, not in Jamaica. I don't know why, Rog J. I am telling you the truth, and Rog J has been watching. He is Mr. Negative, but Rog J has been watching for at least 2 years now, or maybe longer. For 2 years up until today, Rog J, for some reason, I thought you were living in Jamaica and watching from Jamaica. That's funny. All right, well, welcome to New Jersey. Stay safe, Rog J. And he's probably been there for years and years. First Lady Leah saying, hi, Uncle Brad. Karen McCarthy, squad up. Philman Guran, Danish Danny. Just subscribe to YouTube. Thank you very much, Danish Danny. Danish Danny is watching on Facebook and subscribe to YouTube. So now Danish Danny can also double fist. What is double fisting? That's when you're watching on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. You're getting comments from every direction. Karine McCarthy, squad up, Uncle Brad is the best. Thank you very much. And let's see what's going on our sister channel, YouTube over here. What's going on with the squad? Rupan Talukdar saying, hi, Brad, how are you? Jeremy Goldberg, here we go, Brad Show. And by the way, Jeremy Goldberg is part of the crew. We don't have a nickname for him yet, but Jeremy, a nickname is coming very shortly. I got some things ruminating as we speak. Miss AC, how are you? Lenny O. David Wright, up Brad squad. Now, David Wright also used to be a third baseman on the New York Mets and signed a $200 million deal and then got hurt and never played. I wonder if that's the same David Wright or somebody different. Donald Horton, how are you? Kevin Lowe saying hi. BB with a question. We'll get back to you in a little bit, BB, because that's a long question. Tia Prasad saying, hi, Uncle Brad. Nancy Abel, Milo Verdon, and Danish Danny asking the question on YouTube after subscribing. My question is, and this is a quick one, and because Danish Danny is double fisting, I'll answer it right now. My question is, my fiance is on disability. Could she file a K-1? The answer is yes. Being on disability does not bar you from filing. It's not a public charge issue. You're getting money from the government because of a disability, not because you're below the poverty level. Now, you still may need to get a second affidavit of support, depending on, the amount of disability, but that does not bar her from filing for you. And good luck on the marriage. Angela Rawlings, squad up. Obina Nkawacha 880. Hi, Brad. He's saying, tally. Brianna Reed, Latoya McKenzie, DJ Soulface. I like that name. DJ Soulface is in the house. Good afternoon, Uncle Brad. Hey, squad. Bolaji Muhammad saying squad up. And Kiki, Anderson, Renee, Christopher Kane saying hello, how are you? And Christopher Kane, by the way, with a pre-commenter today, Brad, no one does it better. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I really love all the compliments. Thank you very much. I do have to remind everybody it is hump day. And you know what we're going to do right now? We're going to shake it up a little bit. You know what? I've got my hat here. And people say, well, Brad, why do you always shake your hat on Wednesday? Well, because every day this week, there are people on Instagram, on Brad Show Live. They come to Brad Show Live on Instagram, at Brad Show Live on Instagram there. That is the plug. You go to at Brad Show Live on Instagram. And if you follow at Brad Show Live on Instagram and you find the post that says win a free consultation with me, it's a value of $200, and you tag 5 of your friends and you like that post, well, your name goes in. What am I bouncing for? Oh my gosh. Looks like it's so funny. Just making me laugh. The bouncing Brad. Bouncing Brad is quite comical. But what you do is you follow, you like that post. There it is, Bouncing Brad. That's the post that you have to like right now. And we put your name in my hat. This is my old hat. I've had this hat for about 20 years. Believe it or not, I still wear it. I love this hat. All right. This is my lucky hat. I rarely wear hats, but when I do, it's this hat. And now I'm taking my lucky hat, and I've turned it into Uncle Brad's scratchy old hat that we pull out every week. The winner of the free consultation giveaway on Wednesdays on Hump Day. And the winner is, let's see who it is. The winner, you know what? I got to do this so everyone can see, because I actually pulled out 2 names at the same time. So I kind of threw it back. Let's see what it is. I don't want anyone to say I did something wrong. Here it is. And the winner of the free consultation, see, I don't even know what it is. It's all kind of bunched up here. All right. It is Shami Kelman. Shami Kelman, SHAMIEKELLMAN. If you can't read my handwriting, Shami Kelman is the winner of the free consultation. Congratulations. We will be doing a new free consultation right now on at Brad Show Live, so you can go find the Bouncing Brad. If you find Bouncing Brad, you can like that post, tag 5 friends, and your name may be pulled out of my old scratchy hat next Wednesday. All you got to do is find that post on at Brad Show Live. Of course, please leave your immigration questions in our comments section. If you leave your immigration questions in our comments section, I will be answering them in about 20 minutes after we finish our schmooze. Also, if I do not get to your immigration question, since we're on Instagram, you can also follow me on at Real Brad Bernstein. If you follow me at Real Brad Bernstein, you can drop me a DM and I'll do my best to answer your immigration questions. In the meantime, this is Yo-Yo's job, but he's not here right now. And it took him a very long time to get the word right. He used to go smoozing. I'm smoozing with Brad. But after a while, he has learned the art of a dead language, Yiddish. It is schmoozing with Brad, and Yo-Yo gets it. So, but unfortunately, he's not here to say it. So I say it. Let's go schmoozing with Brad. All right, well, it's pandemic quarantine pop-ups. So during our pandemic quarantine pop-ups, we start every schmooze with the latest statistics from the Johns Hopkins University. There are over 4.3 million coronavirus cases worldwide. Those are the numbers of people who have actually been tested positive. Unfortunately, 294,900 people have died. We're closing in on 300,000 deaths for coronavirus. More than 1.5 million people who have had coronavirus and were hospitalized have recovered. In the United States, more than 1.3 million people have been diagnosed with coronavirus. 83,300 Americans have died. 230,200 people have recovered. Governor Cuomo said in the state of New York, there are over 20,000 deaths just in the state of New York. So the state of New York is now almost 1 out of every 4 deaths in the United States came from the state of New York. Meanwhile, after Vice President Mike Pence's press secretary, Katie Miller, who is the wife of Lurch, Stephen Miller, the guy, one of the nicest guys in the world. No, he's a horrible man, a horrible, horrible man. But she got tested positive for coronavirus, and they are both self-quarantining at home. A senior administration official said that Pence is now maintaining distance for the immediate future from Donald Trump after consulting with the White House medical unit, because this Katie Miller was basically next to him for days and days and days before she was found positive. It's not exactly clear how long Pence is going to stay away from Trump, but I would assume at least 14 days. Now, later, White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnery said Pence had made the decision himself, adding, "I would just note that it's his personal decision to make that as to how many days he does it." Now, Pence said during a call with governors on Monday that he was taking these extra precautions, noting that he has a separate room on my own during a video conference, while Dr. Deborah Birx was in the situation room with some of the staff. Now, when Pence arrived at the White House today, there was a picture of him with a mask on in his automobile, in the car that he was coming. Now, you remember there was a big brouhaha because Pence walked around the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota where everybody had a mask on but him. But now, apparently, do we have that picture of him with the mask on in the car? If we do, apparently he is now wearing the mask. Now, Donald Trump was supposed to go visit a factory that makes masks in Pennsylvania, and he was scheduled to go there, except the mask factory now says they don't want Trump coming. Why? Because the workers are scared that Trump coming is going to jeopardize both their safety and of the workers and the plant's ability to keep producing these masks that everybody needs. Now, as we've said day in, day out, I have, and many people have criticized Trump and Pence for not wearing a mask in public. Now, according to every health official, credible health official, not only in the United States, but around the world, there are 2 things that you can do as a citizen, whether you're a citizen of the United States, a citizen of Europe, of China, of the Caribbean, of the West Indies, of South America, of Africa, as a citizen of the world. There are 2 things you can do, because there's only 2 things anyone can do to prevent the spread of coronavirus. 1, stay 6 feet away from people, and 2, wear a mask. Why? Because when you talk and when you breathe, you may be breathing out germs out of your mouth that float in the air to somebody else. If you are wearing a mask, the mask prevents that from happening. As a matter of fact, I just saw a doctor. I don't know how true this is, but I saw a doctor on CNN, and he said that he did a study that says that people who talk loud are more likely to spread germs than people who are whispering. Because as you talk louder, or you're in a room full of people and they're talking loud, as you are talking louder, you are more likely to spread germs because you have more saliva and there's a lot more things or stuff going on. I don't know what it was, but a lot more stuff going on in your mouth that makes you spew out more coronavirus. So, besides social distancing and wearing a mask, you now have to stay away from loud talkers. Loud talkers are more likely, according to this doctor, to give you coronavirus. So now Trump has now been disinvited. He has been disinvited to this Pennsylvania factory, and good for that Pennsylvania factory for disinviting him. Now, meanwhile, most Americans say President Trump should be wearing a mask. There was a poll that was done, and about 7 in 10 registered voters, 70% of the American public, including 58% of Republicans surveyed, and this survey was done by the Morning Consult and Politico. In this poll, they said that both Trump and Vice President Mike Pence should be covering their faces in public places when they travel. My question to you, voters, is what about these other 30%? What don't you understand? These 30% of people who say Trump and Pence should not be. What is there not to understand? I was walking this morning because I wake up every morning now because you can't go to the gym. So I like to do a walk around New York City. Sometimes I do Central Park. Sometimes I just walk the streets. And I would say 7 out of 10 people are wearing masks. 3 out of 10 are not. I wonder if it's the same 3 out of 10 they're saying Trump and Pence don't need to wear a mask. To me, it is the most extraordinarily selfish thing that anybody can do, because the mask is protecting your fellow citizen from getting sick. And for you to walk around and say, I'm not going to wear a mask because I don't feel it, it's not about your protection, the person who's wearing the mask. It's about everybody else's protection. And to me, with what's going on in America, what's going on in the world with coronavirus, that is the ultimate in narcissism, in selfish behavior, and in being the worst effing citizen you can possibly be. So wear your masks. With that being said, Obama has basically called Trump's response to the coronavirus absolute chaotic disaster. Obama, we agree with you. Took him a while to say it, but we've been saying it for a while. Now, according to a leaked web call from former members of his administration, first obtained by Yahoo News and reported Saturday, former President Barack Obama called President Trump's handling of the coronavirus pandemic a disaster. Obama has rarely criticized his successor since leaving office in 2017, but last month, he just had to give it to Trump. Now, during this web call, Obama urged former staffers to rally behind Vice President Joe Biden. Obama said, what we're fighting against in these long-term trends in which being selfish, like I said, being tribal, being divided, and seeing others as the enemy, that has become a stronger impulse in American life. It's part of the reason why the response to this global crisis has been anemic. Now, the best thing we can do to support Joe Biden, Joe, just stay in your basement. You don't have to say anything. I am telling you, Trump will self-destruct. The only thing that could screw this up is if you screw it up. Seriously, if we put Trump up against a bar of soap, a bar of soap will win because the bar of soap will not say anything. Trump just keeps ruining it for his chances to get reelected. The only thing that could completely screw this up, in my opinion, is if Biden talks. Stay in your basement, Joe. Just stay in your basement and let's get rid of this guy. Meanwhile, during a Senate committee hearing yesterday over sending kids back to school and reopening the economy, Senator Rand Paul tangled with our nation's foremost coronavirus expert, Anthony Fauci. Now, Paul Rand is a big Trump supporter, and he said that it is ridiculous to have a national strategy of not sending kids back to school in the fall and attack Dr. Anthony Fauci. He said that the mortality rate of children is much lower than adults, and he pointed to Sweden, which has kept schools open for children under 16 and is outside the top 10 countries in the world for coronavirus deaths per capita. Now, to his credit, Anthony Fauci retorted and said, by the way, if you noticed, our very own Groundhog Sam made it right over the shoulder of Senator Rand Paul, except he was not social distancing and he did not have a mask on. So Groundhog Sam, don't be a mask hole, put your mask on. Nevertheless, Anthony Fauci said that besides the fact that he said, I don't think I'm the end all. I'm just giving advice on public health. He said, I am very careful and hopefully humble in knowing that I don't know everything about this disease, and that's why I'm reserved in making broad predictions. And one of the things he said that we don't know about is how this disease affects children. This disease does affect children. There's 100 children right now who are ill in New York State alone with something similar to Kawasaki disease, where your veins and your blood vessels become inflamed. And some of these children have already died. So for anybody to say it doesn't affect children, that's not true. To what extent it affects children, we don't know yet. Now, what is to me at least, what I have seen, because I've seen pictures of coronavirus toe, people who have recovered from coronavirus, they have those red toes now. You've seen now in children inflammations in their veins, similar to Kawasaki disease. You see inflammation in lungs. It seems to me we don't know enough about this coronavirus. It attacks different parts of the body. I'm not a doctor, but that's what I'm reading. It's attacking your toes. It attacks your lungs. It attacks different parts of your body. And we don't know yet who it's attacking, why it's attacking different parts, and who's susceptible to it. What we do know is that if you have diabetes, you're fat, hypertension, old, or have underlying medical conditions, you're more likely to die from coronavirus. Those are the people who are most affected. Now, Paul Manafort, you may remember him. He was the short-lived campaign manager for Donald Trump. He went to jail for 72 months, I believe, for breaking the law in terms of collecting money from foreign governments, not reporting those taxes, lying to the government, blah, 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 blah. What else is new about the people who are around Trump? Well, surprisingly, he got released from jail yesterday after only serving about 1/3 of his sentence. Now, the Bureau of Prisons said because he's 71 years old and because he does not have great health and has underlying health problems, they're releasing him to finish up his last 4 years in home confinement in his very cushy home, wherever his very cushy home may be. Now, what's very interesting about this is two things. Number one, Paul Manafort is staying at the Loretto prison, which is a low security prison. To this day, there has not been one case of coronavirus at the Loretto prison. Now, I'll tell you three interesting things, actually. So why is he released from a prison for concerns about coronavirus and him getting sick when that prison never had one case? There have been about 2,500 inmates have been released so far from confinement since Attorney General Barr's March 26 memo instructing the Bureau of Prisons to prioritize home confinement because of the pandemic. I have a question for Porky General Barr, whatever his name is. I have a question for him because he has released 2,500 inmates. My question is, and I don't know if the government has released these numbers, but I'm going to be looking for them. What is the race of the people, of the 2,500 people who have been released from prison? We know that a majority of prisoners in the United States of America are minorities and people of color. Therefore, a majority of people, if we are doing this fairly, who are being released should also be minorities and people of color. Are those 2,500 inmates following the percentage of population of people who are being released? I would say, if I had to take a guess, I would say no, it's not, but I don't know for sure. I don't have any evidence. I just know that Paul Manafort, who used to be Donald Trump's campaign advisor, who basically did not rat out Donald Trump, all of a sudden miraculously gets out of jail because of coronavirus. yet there's no coronavirus in that jail. Surprisingly, Michael Cohen, who did rat out Donald Trump, that Michael Cohen, famous for being Donald Trump's lawyer, he ratted that guy out. And he said Donald Trump had sex with Stormy Daniels. Stormy Daniels was going to come out and say that she had sex with him and that he had a small pecker. She did say that. And it was like a stub, I think she said. And that he was concerned that it would affect his election campaign. Michael Cohen said Donald Trump gave him $200,000 to put in Michael Cohen's account to pay Stormy Daniels to shut the hell up. He's in jail still. Not only is he in jail, he's in solitary confinement. He was supposed to get out because in that particular jail where he is, there is coronavirus. And we were told that he was getting out on May 1st, but he's still not out yet. So we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen with all of this. Now, as of today, in the federal detention system, there have been 2,818 inmates, 262 staff members infected with coronavirus. 50 inmates have died, so it is going around. But it wasn't in the prison where Manafort was. It's in the prison where Cohen is, but they have him in solitary confinement. Meanwhile, Los Angeles, if you live in LA, you're still going to be in quarantine through July. Los Angeles County's stay-at-home orders will be extended for the next 3 months, according to County Public Health Director Barbara Ferrer. The orders remain in place through the summer. Restrictions will be gradually relaxed under a 5-step plan. The update to LA's stay-at-home orders come as officials try to meet two needs: restarting the economy while also ensuring that activity doesn't upend progress in the fight against coronavirus, which is another way for saying we're fighting two wars. There's a war of coronavirus and there's a war for the economy, and we got to win both. And some people just want to win one war, the economy. Other people just want to win the other war, the health war. We got to be able to win both. This was pretty scary for me in New York. We were 15 minutes away from dying from a Chinese rocket that plunged back to Earth. Yes, a Chinese rocket was launched on May 5th out of China. It was not a very good launch. They screwed it up. It didn't make it into the right orbit. It fell back to Earth in chunks. One chunk was 100 foot long, the size of a school bus that hit Earth somewhere in the middle of Africa, in a more desolate area of Africa. Now, some scientists did some calculations, and they said, based on all of these calculations, had the Chinese rocket been launched exactly 15 minutes later, that 100-foot long size bus that fell out of the sky would have landed right in the middle of Manhattan. Can you imagine that? If that rocket was launched 15 minutes later, imagine a thing the size of a bus falling from space. It would have killed 100,000 people. God knows how many buildings would have collapsed. 15 minutes was the difference between me and many people in Manhattan living and dying. It's scary. Meanwhile, we got to get to some hump day. We're already 30 minutes into our show, and I promised some people hump day. So if we have some camels, can you let them out, please? The camels have been waiting. The camels have been waiting to get out. So it turns out, yep, we got some camels. It turns out, yes, there is coronavirus in sperm, and it can be transferred during sexual intercourse. We announced on Hump Day 2 weeks ago that you're perfectly fine to have sex as long as you cover your with somebody who has coronavirus, because you can't infect the person with a man's sperm into a woman. We said you probably have to wear a bag and a mask and probably a garbage bag all over the rest of your body. But now apparently they've changed their mind. Sperm coronavirus does get carried to somebody else through sperm. Doctors at China's Shenqi Municipal Hospital took samples from 38 men who were hospitalized for coronavirus, and 16% of them had positive results for their semen. Now, what's the craziest thing about this is how the hell did these Chinese doctors get these coronavirus patients sperm? I mean, you've got like a mask on to help you breathe. You're almost dying, and the doctor's like, well, excuse me, sir, could you get an erection, please, and masturbate and give us your sperm sample? How the hell did they get these sperm samples from these 38 people? I would be like, get the hell out of my room. Get the hell out of my, I'm not giving you no sperm sample. I'm dying here, coronavirus. Meanwhile, men are freaking out, and now they're freezing their sperm. You know, business is booming at the semen storage facilities. They are not the only ones worried. Men are not the only ones worried about the coronavirus killing them. They want to have a legacy. Operations that freeze sperm alive have not been deemed essential, but mail order iterations are growing in popularity. The process works like this. So if you think you're going to die of coronavirus and you're a man and you want to have a little Bernstein or a little whoever you are, to the next generation, this is what you got to do. Companies are going to send you a special kit made for the collection of your sperm. The storage firm tests, you then have to give that sample, just like these Chinese men who are dying of coronavirus in the hospital. That's the craziest story that you would have, that the scientists would think. I keep thinking about it, that the scientists would think, excuse me, sir, I know you're dying of coronavirus, but can you give yourself an erection and masturbate and give us a sperm sample just for science? Meanwhile, they send you a special kit. You masturbate into the kit, I guess, or you give a sperm sample. I don't know any other way to do it. You put it in the kit, you mail it back to them, and they will freeze your sperm. Apparently, the sales of sperm freezing has jumped 20%. Now, talking about sperm could provide, could make somebody infected with coronavirus. There is now a global condom shortage. Now, we've seen the empty shelves at supermarkets where toilet papers, hand sanitizer, household cleaning products. Well, now we are coming to the Duane Reade and Walgreens and drugstores around the country. They no longer have condoms on the shelves. There is a condom shortage. Now, Carex BHD, a condom producer in Malaysia that makes 1 out of every 5 condoms sold worldwide, they have not made a single condom in the last 10 days because of mandatory government shutdown. Now, pre-coronavirus, Carex made over 100 million condoms in a 10-day period. And these condoms, they're sold and distributed by well-known brands, including Durex. I'm sure every man has walked into a drugstore and bought a Durex condom at one point in time. Well, they're not being made right now. So according to Carex chief executive Go Mi Kiat, he told Reuters, we are going to see a global shortage of condoms everywhere, and that's going to be scary. So, we're going to have in 17, 18 years, apparently we're going to have a lot of kids graduating high school in 17, 18 years. There's going to be a lot of kids born this year. Besides the fact that there's no condoms, everybody's shacked at home with nothing to do. There's going to be a lot of kids born this year. Now, even though ending lockdowns could come to fruition soon, there's still going to be a lag in production. Now, during the outbreak, many Chinese factories were also shut down. Factory workers were asked to stay at home. As a result, we have a condom shortage now. Now, talking about Hump Day, remember last week we discussed how May was Masturbation Month? Now, and we said, who decided May was Masturbation Month? Well, one woman in China is taking Masturbation Month to a whole new level. She was caught on camera in May masturbating while half naked in a Chinese IKEA store, prompting IKEA to pledge stricter security on future masturbators. The 2-minute pornographic clip, which went viral, shows the unidentified woman wearing just a white shirt as she pleasures herself in various sections of the store. As other shoppers walked by, the woman initially sat on a chair, then she touched herself, and then she was thrusting her hips and her butt towards the camera. Then she went on a bed and she went spread eagle, and everybody was going crazy in the IKEA. Now, whether or not she actually did this for masturbation month, we have no idea, but it was in May, so it is quite comical that May is masturbation month. Chinese social media took down the X-rated video, but with interest so high, IKEA's response to the situation got 9 million views. IKEA said it takes even more carefully security and public cleanliness measures. Chinese citizens can face up to 10 days in jail for public nudity. The video opens up a larger conversation about the cyber policing of pornography and explicit content on social media by China. A Beijing branch of clothing store called Uniqlo became infamous in 2015 after a clip of a couple having sex in one of its changing rooms went viral. Meanwhile, everybody knows about Keisha. Well, what you may not know is that she is treating herself to a butt mask during quarantine. Yes, quarantine has allowed many to recommit themselves to hobbies and at-home extracurricular activities. Well, for Keisha, this means pampering her butt. She told Refinery 29 that using body butt sheet masks is helping her fight off anxiety and depression while quarantined with boyfriend Brad Ashenfelter. It helps having someone put it on your butt, so that there's another perk of being quarantined with my boyfriend. He gets to put the butt mask on my ass. Now, the singer has been experimenting with do-it-yourself treatments. She recently dyed her eyebrows with a men's beard dye, a popular hack on TikTok. And it's now mating season, by the way, for animals all over the country, and in particular for peacocks. And now at the Franklin Zoo in Boston, they welcome back an escaped peacock after the peacock left the grounds to go looking for a mate. The peacock's name is Snowbank, and he is one of 4 peacocks kept at this zoo. The peacock at Franklin zoos are free roaming, and while they typically wander throughout the zoo, it is currently mating season, and it's possible he ventured out looking for love in search of a female peacock. Now, the peacock was finally returned to the zoo when one officer found a peacock mating call and played it over his phone, which lured the bird to a fenced-in yard. When then Boston Animal Control arrived and caught the peacock and brought it back to the zoo. We have the call from the cop with the peacock call for sex. Let's hear. And there you have it. The animal care team at the zoo worked quickly with the Boston Police Department and animal control to recover the peacock. And he is now back at the zoo, and hopefully they found him a woman. And with that, that is our hump day news for the day. We're going to get into our immigration questions right now. So on YouTube, let's start with YouTube right now. We have a total of 46 thumbs up. I just turned it 47. We have 126 people watching. Right now, somewhere below my chin is a thumb. It is gray on your phone. If you're watching on YouTube, turn that gray button blue. Also, next to that gray button is a share button. You can press that share button, and it says you can create a post, and you can put that post on your Facebook, on your Twitter feed, on your Reddit, on your Tumblr. You can also just copy our link and put it in your WhatsApp. On YouTube, you can share it in your WhatsApp to your friends. You can also put it as a status. Hey, I'm watching Brad Show Live. Here's the link. And tell people to watch. It's the best way to get our numbers up. We want as many people in the Brad Squad as we can have. Also, on Facebook, it's time to start your watch parties. We see who shares. We know who shares. Pizza tells me who shares. You can't hide from sharing. We know exactly who you are. So please share. Tell your friends, tell your family that I will be answering your immigration questions right now if you leave your immigration questions in our feed. I also have to remind everybody, if you want to make an appointment with me, the best way to do it is call right now, 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465, 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465. And how we're doing our consultations right now is you can call, you can speak to one of our client service representatives. They will take down your information. You can pay a small fee for the consultation, and you will get on my phone list. And tomorrow or Friday or Saturday or Monday, whenever you want, you will get a telephone call from me, and we can have a one-on-one personal private consultation. And all you got to do is call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465. And let's get into some of our immigration questions. Let's see what we got here. Where are your questions? Monica Stone with a pre-comment of the day. Brad, you're beginning to look like the paint on the wall. You need some sunshine. You're damn right. You are right. All right. So Ayomi Joy Amode with a question. I applied for a green card since 2018 after my asylum was granted in 2017, but I have not gotten it. What should I do? Well, if you applied for your adjustment of status in 2018, 1 year after, you should have gotten it already. So if you haven't received it yet, you're going now on at least a year and a half, maybe even 2 years into a pending adjustment of status. Now's the time to call me, get on my list, and let's figure out if there's a problem with your asylum case, or if there is no problem with your asylum case, then we got to figure out what are we going to do because the government is violating your rights. Are we going to threaten them with a mandamus, or what is it to do? So the first step is let's make sure everything's good on your case. And then the next thing is if everything's good on your case, then your rights are being violated. And then what do we do about it? 1-800-529-5465. Now, Alex Crossweight, he was, I think, our reporter in Panama who said 3,000 infections in Panama. He says he was deported 18 years ago. He lived in America since 78. All my brothers and sisters and parents and the whole family citizens, can I come back to America? I'm in Panama. I also volunteered to get deported. I was tired of being in jail. I don't know why you were in jail. It depends what you were in jail for. It depends what your underlying crimes were for. And it depends on who you have in your family to sponsor you to come back. All of those are, can you come back? All of those answers are maybe. I don't have the answer. You would definitely need to have a consultation. Sherry Bushy Forster, she's still double fisting. Sydney Bursick with just sucking up to the boss, squat up to one of the best bosses and humans on earth. No, she's not sucking up. She loves me. I love her too. Jasmine McDonald, if you receive food stamps, will that affect your citizenship? No, it does not. Let's see. Hernandez Sammy. Good evening, Brad. My wife is owing another leasing office, and our current leasing office has refused to add her name on my lease. Can we submit my adjustment application without the lease, or what other options do we have? You don't even need to submit your lease. Whether your name is on a lease or not is not indicative of whether you live there. There's plenty of ways to prove you live there at the time of the interview. File your adjustment, or call me and let me tell you what to do. Okay, but you don't need to put your you don't need to do your lease. You don't need to have a lease to file. What you need to do is prove you live together. And Dev Kasoon, when does Trump travel ban on immigrants' visa will be uplifted? And Dev, excuse me 1 second. I left my magic 8-ball. Let me get it. I would have to. I have to ask the magic 8-ball that question. And magic 8-ball and Dev Kasoon. He watches our show a lot. He wants to know when Trump is going to lift the ban on travel. We don't know what's going to happen with coronavirus tomorrow. We don't know what goes on in this man's head on any particular day, but I, Brad Bernstein, should know the exact time when Donald Trump will allow us to travel again. Magic 8 Ball, when will this happen? It says, I'm going to tell you something. The Magic 8 Ball doesn't even know the answer. It is giving me a blank screen somewhere between 3 different cubes. The Magic 8 Ball would not even give me an answer to that. That's how far we have no idea when that's going to happen. Desiree Fieron, the immigration requests some more information from my mother in regard to our filing, and she sent them a question: is how long before we hear back from immigration to resume the process, and how long more would we have to wait? It's been about 8 years. And I also want to know, oh my God, there's a lot of questions. And I also want to know if the president's going to stop the process of all the old filings or new filings or just all the process. Desiree, I don't have the slightest idea when you're going to hear back from immigration. Your mom filed for you. It's been 8 years. So presumably, I assume this is the I-130. You should be getting it approved. Trump can only postpone immigration. He can never stop it. The only way you can stop immigration is with a law change. So he can postpone it, maybe for health-related reasons for a short period of time, but over the long time on our earth, he cannot change immigration laws. You will get here at some point. Hopefully your mom did it right. Kamoya Cooper. Can I go ahead and file for my kids outside the States with this pandemic going on? And can my husband file for food stamps, even though we're going to file for my daughter? You can file for your daughter. Your husband should not be filing for food stamps, because if he files for food stamps, what you're saying to the government is you can't feed yourself. And they're going to say, well, then how are you going to be able to feed your daughter? So the answer to the first one is yes. The answer to your second question is no. Bibek Gupta, my uncle. I waited till the end of the year 2019 and became a sponsor and submitted the docs, but the embassy put it in administrative processing. The country is under lockdown and the embassy is closed. There is nothing we can do until such time as the embassy is open. So once the embassy is open, we have to see how the embassies are going to handle all of these things. Rog J. Roberts, the hat is fixed. Everything is predetermined. No, Rog J., the hat is not fixed. He's talking about Mr. Negative. He's talking about the free consultations. I have no idea who I'm going to pull out of my hat. Crown Johnny. I received the stimulus check, but I'm not a citizen. I hope that won't affect my citizenship process. No, it should not. Talia Reed. I am 20-year-old U.S. citizen. I will be 21 in December. My mom is in the U.S. on a visitor's visa for 3 months. Now, will it be a problem if she stays here and I file the paperwork for her in December? No, you will be able to adjust your status. Danny Shah. Hi, Uncle Brad. I'm glad to see you're doing good. Question, I'm on furlough. Do I qualify to waive the N-400 form? You should be. Yes, absolutely. Put in the waiver. Danish Daney with a pre-comment of the day. Honestly, you are so awesome. I always seen some born lawyers, but you are awesome. Well, thank you very much. Mary Anderson, good evening, Brad. How can I know if my spouse divorced me without me knowing behind my back? Well, he did it behind your back, so he doesn't want you to know. But the way to figure it out is to figure out where does your spouse live, and you contact vital statistics in that particular state where your spouse lives, and ask them if they divorced, because every state has to keep a record of divorces. And then contact vital statistics in the state where you live. And maybe even contact vital statistics in the state where you were married, because he can't go to Wyoming if nobody's ever lived in Wyoming and no marriage ever happened in Wyoming. He can't do a divorce there. So I would check those 3 states: the state where you live, the state where he lives, and the state where you were married. Maybe those are all the same 3 states. And you contact vital statistics. And how do you contact vital statistics? You can Google it. Go Google vital statistics, New York State, vital statistics, Idaho, vital statistics, Alaska. And every vital statistics department in the United States has a website and will tell you how to do a search for a divorce. Bay Uma. Yes, as a citizen of the world, we can help each other. It's the comment, pre-comment of the day. You should be a foreign ambassador. We need logic, level-headed, frank, honest discussions about helping each other. I agree. You know, my daughter said, she goes, why can't a politician just not worry about his own job and just do what's best for the country? I go, exactly. If my daughter can figure that one out, why can't us adults figure it out? Let's see what else we have here. Crystal Pear. Hi, Brad. Good day. After receiving the receipt for the I-130, how long before you get another response, and how long you get to know if it's approved for husband and wife? Husband is a citizen, wife lives in another country. After you get the receipt notice, you should get an approval for the I-130 in about 9 to 10 months if you did everything right. Travis Hood, I have a question. I'm on parole and I lost my green card. Should I fill out the I-90 to replace it? I'm afraid they'll pick up my case when they fingerprint me. Yeah, if you're on parole and you are deportable, when you do your I-90 and fingerprint you, they are likely to pick you up. So before you do that, don't be a fool. Have a consultation and let's figure out what we can do to help you. Because if you just go and replace your I-90 and you fingerprint, you're looking for deportation. Oh, by the way, he has a question. I didn't even ask this question yet. All right, Travis Hood, continuing. Question is, ICE saw me in prison and they said sometime after parole, I may have to see a judge when I have to renew my green card. I think you need a consultation. Amir Fulani. Hi, I came to the USA with a visa lottery with my wife in 2012. She was the primary winner. I was the beneficiary. We have lived in different states since we arrived. We got a divorce from back home this year, but we both never filed taxes together. Will that affect my naturalization process? No, it shouldn't. You just had to prove it was a bona fide marriage the day you entered America. You don't have to be in a bona fide marriage for the 5 years. Young Money Rogers. Uncle Brad, you are the best among all the rest, but I have a question for you. Yes, Young Money, I am listening. I don't see your question. Donna Bless, also with a pre-comment of the day. Uncle Brad, keep doing what you are doing. Every day you look younger and younger, especially when you clean shave your face. Thank you very much. Let's see what else we got here. Candy Bennett with a question. Good evening, Brad. What if you apply for an I-539 extension because of the COVID on the visitor visa and don't hear from USCIS? What would your advise person to do? Well, if you apply for the extension, you should get a receipt notice. If you get the receipt notice for the extension on your visitor's visa, you're in legal status for that up to that 180 days. What you need to do, whether you have heard from immigration or not, is leave the United States within 180 days of that visitor's visa extension, or make another application for an additional extension if you still can't travel, or change your status to something else. What you can't do is say, well, I haven't heard, so that means I'm allowed to stay here indefinitely until I do hear. You're not allowed to do that. Let's see. What else we got here? Valerie Wright Cherry. My daughter and grandbabies were to return in April, but because of the border closure, they are still stuck in Jamaica. Will there be any penalties when the airports are open? They are green card holders. No, there shouldn't be, because obviously they've tried to come back and they were unable to. So it's beyond their control. So there should not be a penalty. Sasha Ford. Hi, Uncle Brad. Did you hear anything about the second wave of stimulus checks or the idea of them giving us a check until the end of the year? The second wave is supposed to be coming shortly. I don't know the exact day. I haven't seen when they said they're going to start doing it again, but I do know in the law they were supposed to be coming. It should be coming shortly. So I'll check on it, or I'll have Jilly check on it and see if we can announce something tomorrow. Let's see. Beatrice Hansen. I got married in the USA in December 2019. He is in the process of getting his citizenship. Then he filed for me. Can I go to visit him? I have a 10-year tourist visa and has been traveling yearly since 2016. Well, if you're already married and he filed for you, you've shown an intent to get a green card, that could be a reason to deny you when you come into the United States of America. So you run a risk of traveling on a tourist visa when you've already been filed for your green card. So I can't tell you what that risk is. Is it a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% chance of getting turned around? But it's a substantial risk. My best advice to you: wait for your green card. Let's see what's going on on YouTube and see what questions we got on YouTube. Let's see. Pinoy 96. Good afternoon. I'm petitioning my mother, and USCIS just sent a letter asking for an RFE. They want my birth certificate and DNA test only voluntarily. Should I do the DNA or the birth? Do both. Ask for both. Do both. Blood doesn't lie. You shouldn't be concerned to do the DNA, but you got to do it through USCIS registered office. You can't do it privately. Pinoy asking the same question 7 times. We got it. Kiki, Uncle Brad, my husband is on Section 8. Can he petition for me? If not soon after he is off, can he do it? Section 8 is government assistance. If you are on Section 8 for any time in the last 36 months, that is a penalty against. Yes, he should get out of Section 8, and you will have to come up with substantial documentation to show you can support yourself here without getting on any government assistance because your husband was on Section 8. You should make a consultation with me. Shama Brown has a question. Hi, Uncle Brad. My husband is a U.S. citizen, but his former address is on his driver's license. He's now living with me. Does he have to change it to my address? Absolutely, he should. Donald Horton. God, heart, bless, listen to me, Tally. And I've been on here a long time ago, so you know what to do to ask your immigration questions. Get your immigration issues taken care of with a pre-comment of the day. Lena Celeste. Hi, Uncle Brad. Since April 14th, my case says ready for an interview, and I still don't get nothing from the NVC or USCIS. Can I call the NVC to know about my case? Therefore, we will reopen on June 4th. You can call them, but they're not going to tell you anything. Unfortunately, when they say that your case is ready, it just means that they've looked at your case. They'll send it to the local office, but that doesn't mean the local office. I've seen cases that have been ready for 12 months before the local office calls you. I think calling USCIS to say, when am I going to get my interview, is just spinning your wheels. I don't think they're going to tell you much. Just got to wait it out. If it's more than 12 months, then obviously give me a call. Milo Vernon, next month I'm applying for the I-751. I had a disorderly conduct and criminal misconduct in the 3rd degree in Connecticut. The case was dismissed nole. Will this affect me removing my conditions? If it was a null prosecution and both cases were dismissed, then it will not affect you because you don't have a criminal record. You don't have to prove good moral character to remove the conditions. You just have to prove you're not inadmissible, deportable, and you're in a good marriage with your spouse. Chief, I have no idea, HNGBLZ. Just we'll call him Chief. Uncle Brad, why is U.S. allowing all that birth tourists and their anchor kids to be U.S. citizens, yet giving hard time to the people who are not dirty enough to do the same thing but do it legal way? Well, first of all, if you give birth as a birth tourist, the U.S. is not giving those people in easy time. As a matter of fact, if it is discovered that you give birth here in the United States on a tourist visa, the U.S. is taking that tourist visa away from you. If you look pregnant and you come into the airport, they also will send you back home believing that you are coming here to give birth. So I don't subscribe to that. They give people a very hard time. Do people still come here on as birth tourists and get through? Yes, but the U.S. is certainly cracking down on it. Hannah, hello. Will my summons for a penal code New York 104.05 trespassing violation affect my green card renewal? I got this summer 9 after receiving my green card. How can I be your client? Your office is closed. My office is open. You can call me at 1-800-529-5465. We're doing all our phone consultations remotely, but we are open. And having a trespass should not prevent you from renewing your green card. That doesn't sound deportable to me. It sounds like a violation, which is not a criminal record. So you can give us a call at 1-800 529-5465. Kiki with a follow-up. He has been on it longer than 36 months. If I have good standing affidavit support, will that still affect my husband on Section 8? Yes, he needs to get off of it. But if it's more than 36 months, he's been on it, you're going to have a hard time. But certainly, you will need to have a good attorney. Let's go back and check on some last second questions on Facebook. Danny Shah. Second, if I lose my job and I got food stamps and claim unemployment, will that affect me getting my citizenship? No, it will not. Gladmir Fajardo. Hello, my mother was recently denied for her permanent residency application due to a jurisdiction deportation in 94. What do you recommend we do? I sponsored her as her son. Well, if she got ordered deported, she needs a lawyer. I recommend you get a good lawyer. When people get deported, why do you think that if you fill out a form, they're coming back? There's no such thing as I got deported, I get to fill out a form and come back. It's a lot more complicated than that. Jahay with a encyclopedic question, right out of the Encyclopedia Britannia. Jahay Giovanni says, I've messaged the National Visa Center because my brother's priority date is current. He's from the Philippines. He's petitioned by my father. His I-130 has been approved. The NVC replied back, Dear sir, the National Visa Center is preparing to accept fees, documents, and forms in support of this immigrant visa application. We will send detailed instructions to the petitioner, principal applicant, and or attorney of record soon. Thank you for your patience. What does this mean? It means that the National Visa Center is preparing to accept your fees, documents, and forms in support of this immigrant visa application. It means exactly what it says. They will contact you shortly, and that you're on their radar, and they're going to send you a fee bill. It's exactly what it says. You're going to start processing very soon, and if they don't start processing soon, then give me a call. Jeremias, I'm petitioning my mom. I know I send them my birth certificate, and now they're asking for a new one and DNA only voluntarily. Yes, if they're asking for DNA and a birth certificate, give them both and do the DNA through a prescribed USCIS lab. Don't do it privately. They will only accept it through their own labs. Clifford Class with a question. Good evening, Brad. I have a question. Can I apply for unemployment if my green card expires? Yes. Gladmir, we answered that one already. Gladmir, we answered. I think I got through everybody. Oh, nope. Tahila Reed with the last question of the day. I am a 20-year-old U.S. citizen. I'm going to be 21 in December. My mom is in the U.S. on a visitor's visa. Will it be a problem if she stays here and I file the paperwork in December? No, it's not a problem. She will absolutely be able to adjust her status in December. And with that being said, folks, that will end our Hump Day edition of Brad Show Live. If you are watching and you like this show, please subscribe on YouTube. You will get a ding every time. We need subscribers on YouTube. I want you to subscribe on YouTube. And then also, once you subscribe on YouTube, you can then go over to Facebook and like and follow us on Facebook. We have two shows that go concurrently at the same exact time, one on YouTube, one on Facebook, two different commentaries going. It's sometimes people like to double fist and watch the commentary on both of our channels that go live at the same exact time. You can also join our Brad Squad. We are 6,000 members strong. And we are growing by leaps and bounds every day, Brad Squad. How do you join Brad Squad? Well, first you got to subscribe. Then you got to follow and like. And then you got to request membership of Brad Squad, which is our group on Facebook. Jilly Bean, who is our executive producer, she is the gatekeeper of the membership. So please suck up to her if you want membership for Brad Squad. Please follow us on @Brad Show Live, where you can find our post for a free consultation, and you can like that post, add 5 of your friends to tag 5 of your friends, and be put in my hat for next Wednesday for the free consultation giveaway. And of course, you can follow me @Brad Show, @Real Brad Bernstein if I did not answer your immigration question. And when you follow me @Real Brad Bernstein, you can drop me a DM. I'll be happy to answer your immigration questions in my DM. Finally, if you want a consultation with me, the best way to get one is to call me. And that telephone number is 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465. And lastly, we have some comments of the daily, some comments of the day. What do we got? Carlene Dainty, ever blessed Stewart. Hi, Brad. Thanks for doing a great job. You are the best of the best. Thank you very much, Carlene. Carol Anderson, the Tiger, my favorite lawyer, Brad. You are the man, Brad. Heart. Thank you very much. And Danish Danny, honestly, you are such an awesome lawyer. I've always seen boring lawyers, but you are awesome. Thank you very much, Danish Danny. And thank you all for watching Brad Squad. I love you as always. We will see you all tomorrow sometime after 4:30, hopefully before 5. It's what we call Brad Show Live Time. I do got to remind everyone, prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome. Till then, see you all tomorrow.